Speaker. To ask Honourable Minister of Arts and Culture whether, in regard to a treasure trove allegedly discovered at Saint-François in Rodrigues, he will state A. when it was discovered and by whom, B. the estimated value thereof, C. if the National Heritage Fund has granted permission for excavation pursuant to Section 6C of the National Heritage Fund Act, D. if excavation works have begun, and if so, indicate the outcome thereof, and E. if consideration will be given for the vesting of any treasure found in the Rodrigues regional if consideration will be given for the vesting of any treasure found in the Rodrigues Regional Assembly after application of the relevant legislation.
Madam Speaker, with regard to part A of the question, I am informed that an affidavit was sworn by Mr. Roger de Gédespéville on 15th May 2019, informing that he had, along with one Mr. Georges Désiré Némorin, found the following items in Rodrigues on or about 22nd March 2019. A rusted chest, damaged on the edge as if it had received a knock and leaning towards the west and not horizontal. And according to Mr. Roger Despéville, the said chest might date as far back as about 300 years. A piece of metal strip reinforcement from the chest located to the right of the chest on the ground. To the right of the inclined leaning chest, the remains of broken rope, seemingly from a rope and pulley hoist system, symmetrical objects used by men probably to lower this chest into the hole, a flat rock placed vertically in front of the chest towards the east, a small unidentifiable bright red dot under the trunk, and a chimerical object seemingly with the skull of goat and possibly the body of a fish. As regards parts B and D, Madam Speaker, no excavation has begun, and therefore at this stage the estimated value cannot be determined. With regard to part C, I am informed that as at date, no request has been received by the National Heritage Fund for a permission to excavate. Concerning part E, I wish to point out that the articles 713 and 716 of the Civil Code Mauritian provide as follows. Article 713. Les biens qui n'ont pas de maître appartiennent à la nation. Article 716. La propriété d'un trésor appartient à celui qui le trouve dans son propre fonds. Si le trésor est trouvé dans le fonds d'autrui, il appartient pour moitié à celui qui l'a découvert et pour l'autre moitié au propriétaire du fonds. Le trésor est toute chose cachée ou enfouie sur laquelle personne ne peut justifier sa propriété et qui est découverte par le pur effet du hasard. Accordingly, in view of the complexity of the case, legal implication will be looked into by all parties concerned, namely the Ministry of Defense and Rodrigues, the Ministry of Arts and Culture, the Attorney General's Office, the Rodrigues Regional Assembly, the National Heritage Fund, amongst others.
Speaker, may I ask Honourable Minister, given that some 2 months ago, I understand that the same Mr. Spéville and Mr. Némorin also probably met with Minister Manteau around mid-May. Will he tell us whether that is the case? And how come, since mid-May, this is known to the government of Mauritius, the Rodrigues Regional Assembly had to wait for articles in the press weeks later to be made aware of same?
Madam Speaker, I wish to state that once the Minister Mentor was apprised of the situation, consultations were carried out and the Rodrigues Regional Assembly was informed in good time.
Madam Speaker, obviously the Minister has not taken note of even what's happening, what was printed in the press this morning. And I have copies of it by press conference yesterday by Commissioner Rose de Lima Edouard, saying she learned of this, the Rodrigues National Assembly learned of this matter in the press. How can the government be so disrespectful towards the Regional Assembly?
Madam Speaker, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition is quite an experienced politician, and he knows that we cannot believe whatever is stated in the press. And I don't think that we can base ourselves on press articles to state facts as if they are the truth.
Madam Speaker, this is a press conference by the Commissioner for Arts and Culture in Rodrigues, and it was covered by 2 newspapers this morning and also on the web, saying that she learned of the issue in the press. This is not hearsay in the Britain here and there. It's a press conference yesterday.
Madam Speaker, I may confirm that in good time, the Minister Mentor had informed the Chief Commissioner once the issue was made known to him.
May I also know, Minister, this issue of such great importance, especially to the people of Rodrigues, was this any correspondence? This was said in verbally, or some correspondence was sent by the Minister of Rodrigues, your own, perhaps, ministry, to the Rodrigues National Assembly? Was it done officially in a correspondence?
Yes, Madam Speaker. If I am not mistaken, a first correspondence was sent on the 11th of June to the Rodrigues Regional Assembly.
Exactly my point, Madam Speaker. The press article started to appear 9th of June. That is more than 3 weeks after Minister Manteau was made aware of the discovery of the treasure. Why this delay?
Madam Speaker, the House will appreciate that, to my recollection, this is the very first time that we are having certain issues raised about somebody allegedly discovering a treasure. And I understand that once a correspondence was received at the level of the Ministry of Rodrigues, the State Law Office was consulted to have all the legal implications, and thereafter the Rodrigues Regional Assembly was informed and advised about appropriate measures that needed to be taken.
Weeks later, after press articles, that is clear now. May I ask the Honourable Minister, in the weeks that went by, from mid-May, when Minister Manteau was informed, why was there no security provided on the site, and security has only been provided by the SMF from last week?
Madam Speaker, I wish first of all to correct the Leader of Opposition. It is untrue, not correct to say that no measures was taken and that it was only after the press article that we started to act on it. Very early, once we were aware of it, the Minister Mentor took all appropriate measures. And insofar as police control was concerned, the RRA was informed. And in fact, I agree that it was early of July that the SMF went on site, but we were expecting that measures would have been taken by the RRA. And thereafter, after representation, government decided that we should secure the site, and SMF was placed on site to secure it.
You admitted yourself that the RRA was informed weeks after the Minister Manteau became aware of it. And now you're saying the SMF were sent there last week. But the police is not under the control of the RRA. The police is under control of the Commissioner of Police here. So why, since the 15th of May, wasn't there, and we'll talk later because apparently the treasure had disappeared, but something else. Since the 15th of May, why no police security there?
Madam Speaker, let me repeat. The Rodrigues authorities were informed 11th of June, and thereafter, it was only, in fact, in July that we placed security there, but the Rodrigues Regional Assembly was informed well in advance, and for them to take whatever measure was needed.
Madam Speaker, let's come to another issue. With all the technology that exists, remote cameras, everything else, what has been done by government in the last 2 months since you became aware of this issue? What has been done by government to find out, even by remote means, metal detector, remote cameras, lights, etc., to find out whether any of the items that were averred in the document that you just cited earlier from Mr. Despeville, whether any of these were in fact there.
Madam Speaker, first of all, I wish to state that we have given some autonomy to Rodrigues. The authorities in Rodrigues were informed about the situation, and it was up to the Rodrigues Regional Assembly to take whatever measures needed to be taken. But as presently advised, I'm not aware whether any such investigation has been carried out by the Rodrigues Regional Assembly.
Speaker, is he not aware, are you not aware, Mr. Minister, of the National Heritage Fund, their responsibility concerning all cultural heritage of Mauritius? Are you saying that you became aware 2 months ago and not even an attempt has been made with all the technology that exists to find out whether any of this in this affidavit, any of it is true?
Madam Speaker, as per the National Heritage Fund Act, up till now, nothing has been declared as a cultural heritage as stated by the Honourable Leader of Opposition. And in fact, there is a procedure whenever we need to declare a particular site as cultural heritage. The process needs to be done, but in any event, there are mere allegations that is. We even don't know. Nothing has been carried out so far. But of course, in due course, if there is need, we are going to ensure that whatever legal protection is needed to the site, things will be done.
I'm surprised, Madam Speaker, that the government has done nothing in the last 2 months to even verify what is there. Madam Speaker, I remind the Honourable Minister of Section 6C of the National Heritage Fund Act says. The role is to regulate and authorize activity pertaining to the exploration, excavation, salvage of national heritage or any object or structure of cultural significance. Are you saying that to you, Minister, this treasure in Rodrigues is of no cultural significance to the National Heritage Fund?
Madam Speaker, first of all, we shouldn't assume that there is any treasure. We are anticipating a lot of things. The first thing that we took was to inform the Rodrigues Regional Assembly, because we know that whatever is in Rodrigues has been vested in the law and the Rodrigues has got its autonomy. We inform the Rodrigues Regional Assembly, and of course, whenever there is need for us to act, we are going to act.
Speaker, you inform them weeks later. Weeks later. Even 1 day later would have been too late. Madam Speaker, there are reports again in the press, this morning's press, Minister may not have had time to read, that there have been a trace de fouille at the site. That, in fact, the treasure, and this is what Mr. Payendi, Richard Payendi said in Défi Média. He said, le trésor a déjà été extirpé. And also, this is therefore, and the Express of this morning, citing the fact that the treasure may already have disappeared. Have you, given that you've done nothing to find out if any of this is true, and you've sent the SMF weeks, if not months later, what are you going to do about the reports in the press now?
Madam Speaker, I may confirm that since I have to check the date. I believe it is early July. The site has been secured by the SMF. And it is still under the control of the SMF.
My God, Madam Minister, I remind the Minister that it was in early this year that the treasure was found. In May, it was the Ministry of Rodrigues was informed. In early July, 2 months later, that you send in security. Madam Speaker, let me now move to the future. I maintain that the National Heritage Fund has a role to play, although I would wish to see the treasure go to Rodrigues fully after application of the law. But the National Heritage Fund cannot run away from its responsibility as regards cultural value and should assist Madam Speaker, can I ask the Honourable Minister whether he has taken any measure to assist the RRA or the National Heritage Fund to find archaeologists? Now, months have gone by to find archaeologists to help the government, whether they are based in Mauritius or overseas, excavate the site.
Madam Speaker, I wish to correct the Honourable Leader of Opposition that once the Minister Mentor was aware of it, we have been working in collaboration, the NHF has been working in collaboration with officials of the Ministry of Rodrigues, and they have been kept informed about the situation as to the law and what needed to be done. And it is completely untrue to state that the NHF did not do anything. There was constant consultation between the NHF and the minister responsible for Rodrigues.
Madam Speaker, I will quote from this morning's défi. La Commission a pris connaissance de l'existence de cette découverte à travers la presse. This is the Commissioner de Riva telling so, and you have, well, I can see no correction anywhere in the press. Waiting for the PNQ to answer, I see. Madam Speaker, let me ask the Honourable Minister, my question is clear, unless you are saying that this Commissaire Rose de Lima Edouard has been lying to the press. Otherwise, it's clear what is being said. Madam Speaker, I'll go again now. I'm going to move on to another question. Same question, but he hasn't replied. In the future, forget the past, it's a whole mess. In the future now, are archaeologists going to be hired with the help of the government of Mauritius, hopefully, to go, a proper archaeologist, to go and excavate the site?
First of all, Madam Speaker, I wish once again to correct the Leader of Opposition. There have been no mess. Second thing, I may confirm again that the Minister Mentor met personally the Chief Commissioner from Rodrigues, says Claire, and he was fully informed about the situation. A letter was sent on the 11th of June. And we explained clearly that we have been in constant contact with the authority in Rodrigues. There have been constant contact on this issue with the RRA and the Chief Commissioner. And I won't dwell into what one commissioner stated. The Minister Mentor confirmed that he talked about this issue with the Chief Commissioner in person long ago, and also that a letter was sent regarding this issue. And I confirm once again, the mess is only in the mind of the Leader of Opposition.
You are a mess yourself. Madam Speaker, you are a mess yourself. Madam Speaker, I'm going to ask the Honourable Minister to give us some dates. The Minister Mentor says clear, we don't know when. We only have the date of the letter that was sent weeks later. I'm going to ask my question again. I've got no answer for the future. I want to ask the Honourable Minister whether he has taken the trouble, seeing he is the Minister of Arts and Culture of the Republic of Mauritius, whether he has taken the trouble to assist the regional assembly to find out whether that treasure has indeed, as Commissioner Payendi said, rightly or wrongly, I don't know, that this treasure worth billions of euros has disappeared. This is also there. Has he taken the trouble to read, and as Minister responsible for national heritage, with the RRA taking any notice at all? Have you even shown so much disrespect to Commissioner Payendi that you have not even bothered to worry about it?
First of all, I must say that there are a lot of speculation regarding this alleged treasure. And I don't know, how is it that we can state billions of euros? On what basis this has been stated? I leave it to the one who made the statement. With due respect to the one who made the statement, Let me confirm once again that we are working in close collaboration with the RRA, and I understand that the RRA is contemplating to seek the services of an archaeologist to assist in the exploration of the area. The area has already been secured. It is going to be... The leader of opposition wanted to know what is for the future. I am answering for the future. We are going to seek the advice of archaeologists whenever needed. The site has been secured. It is going to be delimited. If need be, we are going to seek international cooperation on this case. And if need be also, whatever exists under the NHF Act, we are going to trigger the process.
Minister, we know that his colleagues are getting very excited around him. Let me ask, Madam Speaker, reports by the Commissioner of the Environment that le trésor a été extirpé. Now, this is 2 months has gone by. What effort, if anything, have you done to verify, after all, what an elected member of the Commission in Rodrigues has been saying publicly?
I don't know what is the expertise of the Commissioner. I don't know how we can say that something has been extirpé, as you said. But what we can say is that we should act in a very sensible manner. The first thing, I just want to recapitulate. The Minister Mentor received a correspondence from jurisconsult about an affidavit which was sworn by an individual. In the light of this affidavit, the SLO was contacted, because I must remind the House that this is the very first time that we are coming about, we are facing such an issue. The SLO was contacted, and once the advice was obtained, and this advice, this consultation, I must state that the Minister Mentor, the Ministry, contacted all relevant stakeholders in Mauritius. A letter was sent early June to the RRA, and we have been doing our level best to keep everybody informed and to ensure that everything is done according to the law and that the rights of all individuals are secured.
Speaker, have you noticed that whatever question I ask, I get the same reply? Same reply, whatever question I ask. Madam Speaker.
Order on the side of the House.
The question is this.
Order, please. Order. The leader of the opposition has the floor. He has a legitimate right to be heard.
Madam Speaker, thank you. Legitimate right. Now, Madam Speaker, and a legitimate right to be answered to the question that we are asking legitimately. Now there is a talk of the treasure having disappeared. You have not used any technology, easy technology. Remote cameras are available even in the shop. Metal detectors are available in the shop. You have not even deigned to use even the basic technology to find out whether anything is there and what security measures ought to be appropriately taken. You are making fun of the fact that it may not be worth billions of euros. But it may be or may not be. You don't know. You haven't checked.
I understand the question. Yes.
Madam Speaker, we are not making fun of anybody. I repeat that we acted diligently in the circumstances after we made aware of it, and we gave due respect also to the Rodrigues Regional Assembly and ensured that whatever communication had to be sent was sent there. There was due communication between the Minister Mentor and the Chief Commissioner. Ultimately, the government took the decision to secure the site through the SMF, and up till now, this is done. And I may reassure the House that whatever needs to be done is going to be done by the Ministry, by the Minister of Rodrigues, by my ministry, by the NHF, together with the Rodrigues Regional Assembly. And in the meantime, we have secured the site, and if need be, to secure the assistance of archaeologists, other experts, local or international, everything is going to be taken care of. But at this juncture, Madam Speaker, I ask the Honourable Leader of Opposition not to trust whatever is being stated in the press.
You, Honourable Leader of Opposition,
This
you
can
have,
I'll get the same answer.
6 minutes. I don't know whether you would wish others to ask questions.
Yes, I'll ask this question. It's probably the most important question. We know the law says that what you go to the Code Civil, if indeed the persons who are looking for found the treasure fortuitously, par hasard, then they may get 50% of it. I don't want to go into that. But the remainder, the minimum that will be left is 50%. Hopefully 100% for Mauritius. I would like the Minister to say clearly that whatever the law says, nothing prevents the government of Mauritius from vesting the treasure in the regional assembly. Whatever the government says, whatever the law says, it can be gifted. It can be gifted, whoever says it can be gifted. I'm asking the Minister to commit today that the treasure, whatever is found, is and will be, whatever the law says, will be gifted to the Rodrigues Regional Assembly as it is their cultural heritage, their treasure. It was found on the island lying there 300 years, and that it will be, that this treasure, whatever the law says, whatever percentage accrues to Mauritius is in fact given to Rodrigues.
Madam Speaker, on est un état de droit, and whatever is going to be done will be done strictly according to law.
I'm not saying the law. If I have money in my pocket, it may be mine, I can give it to anyone. I'm saying to you that whatever the law says, the government should rightly give it to the people of Rodrigues.
I don't think it is a question, but I confirm that everything is going to be done according to law.